Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Ammar, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are absolutely thrilled to be joined by Coach Todd Kimble, a dedicated high performance and life coach and leadership development professional renowned for his people first approach and transformative guidance for individuals and teams. Todd, welcome to Founders Future.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
I am excited to dive in. I always like to start from the beginning. So take me back to before you even got into coaching. What were you doing beforehand? And then what was really the motivation behind coaching and starting to coach?
I think the motivation was I was probably a coach all my life. I think that from the very earliest of ages, I was always trying to help other people. And I was always fascinated by how humans learn. Not how we think we learn, but how we really truly learn.
Interesting.
And then also, by the way, how the anachronism of how people assume we learn and then try to teach us that way doesn't work. And kind of what I mean by that is just I've learned what was really the catharsis for my book, The Uncharted Mind, was when I had listened to myself as a soccer coach, a volunteer soccer coach on the weekends, and I didn't like what I heard. That
What do
pretty
you
much put me on the path of saying there's got to be a better way.
mean?
And I'm a product of the 70s and 80s where you pretty much kick them in the butt and yell and scream at them and they'll go do it, right? But we all know that means they'll do it for about 3 minutes, 5 minutes, maybe the whole game. But my focus is on creating intrinsic agency.
I like that. Internally inside of the individual. So it's not external.
Exactly. When you have scientifically, we all know this, but we don't use it. It's what's so funny, right? We understand things, but then we don't apply them. And that's what I've learned to do. So through 1,000 kids that I coached, I really looked at something. I said 70% of kids quit coach soccer at 13 or quit all sports at 13. And as we as adults know that, man, that's the most important age for camaraderie, group conflict, fitness, even though that could be, we think of it as first, I actually think it's last. Because it's an emotional thing, right? And you learn how to win, lose, compete, etc. So what we do though is that we say, hey, go out and do it and power through. And so I flipped it. I was able to take, and 70% quit of the roughly 800 kids I did since I started doing it. 75% were playing at 17. And that is the power of extrinsic versus intrinsic.
Yeah.
And what I do is I've now taken that intrinsic aspect and the intrinsic agency of things and how I apply it, which is all in my book. And I just say, I'm going to apply this now to sales. And so now what I'm just launching, literally is so funny that we ended up scheduling this out because I had literally launched it Monday. And that, yeah, where I'm going to be selling a sales training program. And to give you an idea, I've already proven it with the company I'm at. And I took 50 sales agents that were either stale or brand new. And through this intrinsic process of only 2 weeks,
Mm.
1 hour a day, they went on to change the numbers to the point where typically 25% of our people at best actually go and do business 3 months later. They get their license, there's life insurance, so they do their
I see.
license, they get their everything. But then they're only about a fifth, oh, sorry, let's say 1 out of 5, typically make it to the point where they're getting their promotion and they're making money.
Yeah.
And so where did the other 4 go? They leave. And so in that sales training thing that I did for a quarter for free for this company, but to prove the concept, I ended up with 75% doing business 90 days later.
Wow, that's huge. So a 50% increase. Or sorry, no, it
3x.
would actually be like a 300% increase.
Yeah,
Yeah, 25% to 75%. I love that. So let's dive into the new launch and kind of what you're going to be focused on now. I know
sure.
they were life insurance, but when it comes to the ideal client for this program, Who would you say that is?
That's going to be that new sales VP or director who's got a new group. They already have a system, right? When you come in as a new sales VP or you come to run in a new sales organization, you're looking at it and you're going, I can't come in really and change the whole system because then I got to figure out all the system and change the system. And so what I do is I work within the system. I don't really care what your system is. What I'm going to do is supercharge the input. So if you think about it, what is one of the biggest costs you have at any sales group? Is just conversion costs.
Mm,
Is being able to convert, right, leads into sales, and then of course follow-up sales. What if I could cut that by 75%? Sounds bold, right?
yeah.
But that's just the same as what I just did, just flipped
Yeah.
3x.
Yeah.
So I look at it that way, and I know I can do it. And now what I'm looking for is some sales VPs who are kind of new to their job and say, I don't want to mess with the system, and I don't really know what I can get out of these people. But what I do know is I want to do something different.
Got it.
You've heard the 3 million sales programs, right?
Of
This is
course.
not a sales program.
Yeah. I like that. So in terms of the core offer and the deliverables, so to speak, it's 2 weeks. So it's a 2 week commitment and it's 1 hour a day. And then I'm
Yeah,
assuming the team jumps onto that call. Is it a Zoom call?
it's a Zoom call. I try to
Got
keep
it.
it to 5 people a group so I can take on multiple cohorts. But the idea there is it's by 5 people. Why five? Mainly because I need the bonding aspect of what I can do with people. But beyond five, you start to lose the one-on-one that I do with my coaching.
Yeah. Oh, so you also have coaching on the side, or not on the side, but other offers aside from this?
Oh, I do, but I definitely do. But what I was actually saying that I have the ability to connect with people within 5 minutes. And so what happens is on a Zoom call, within 15 minutes, I can get everybody relaxed, comfortable, and speaking. Even just to give you a quick one, we had a lady who came to us who was just completely introverted, gamer, has no friends, 25. She completely opened up. She's one of my references actually, and she opened up to the point where she is now training other agents to sell. She's a certified field trainer.
Mm,
That was only in the last 4 months.
wow, that's powerful. Very
It
cool.
is.
So when it comes to the future and what your main focus is going to be, is it going to be this new sales training program, or is it going to be any of your
Yes.
offers as well? Okay, got it.
Well, good question. I should let you finish there too, right? So the I get excited. That's where I come from. But it's the sales program. But what I'm doing is it from a spiritual perspective. Everything comes from the inside. So what I call it is a lot of different names, but the main thing is that you're pulling from the inside out. So I'm going to connect with each of the persons, the people I'm working with, let's say,
Yeah,
and create that intrinsic agency within each one. How do I do that? That's the secret, but I will tell you this, and this is coming from a client, actually multiple clients have said this to me. He says, Coach Todd, you don't help me overcome my fears or remove my fears. You just make it so that there's no fear.
I like that. That's powerful, especially in sales.
Very
That's
much so.
I'd love to shift a little bit to the back end of the business. When it comes
Okay?
to client acquisition, lead generation, I know you just launched, what is it, Thursday? Three
Yeah,
days, so to
3
speak.
days.
Yeah. What are you doing from a lead generation and marketing front to attract more clients and more business?
The timing of this thing is interesting, so this will be one way. But no, what I'm doing is I've got a LinkedIn program going out that is actually already started. There will be an Instagram program that I'll be doing very soon. Probably take me another 4 weeks because that's a lot of video. And then also what I'm doing is my coach-todd.com website
Got it.
where I'm going to be posting it there. So hot off the press, right? Everything's getting updated as we speak. The outreach primarily is, I would say, is through, I have a CRM, of course, like we all do, but my outreach is primarily going to be LinkedIn. TikTok will be there too, by the way, I just realized.
Got it. So it's going to be mainly organic content and then LinkedIn outreach.
Yeah,
Now, when you say program or LinkedIn program and IG program, what do you mean by that?
and it's just, think of it, I guess it's more of it's something I just made up more or less, which is just, I'm going to run a program on LinkedIn that is hey, if you're a LinkedIn person, you get a little bit off, 10% off, that kind of thing.
I see. I see. Promotion. Okay.
Promotion, thank you.
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. Okay, very cool. Okay, so depending on how they come in, Have you ever thought about running ads to this?
That was the idea, to be really blunt. I have not had the chance to get there other than, yeah, I want to run TikTok ads and I want to run some other ads, but
Yeah,
I'm just figuring out how to do that.
fair enough. I think Meta would absolutely crush with something like this. If
Oh,
it's some,
interesting. I hadn't thought of that. Thank
yeah,
you.
like Facebook, IG, some sort of short form funnel, I think that would do very well. Now, when it comes to the sales process, how does that work? Is this something where people just go on the website and purchase right away, or do they have to hop on a call with you first?
My preference is they hop on a call with me.
Got
And
it.
think of it this way, is this is a high-end type of sales in the sense that
Yeah.
I'm not going to come in and just say, hey, here, do these 5 things and you'll be transformed. It's incredibly contextually based. And what I mean by that is I need to, I'll get a little woo on you and you can cut out what you want on this, but what I believe my strength is that I'm able to connect with a person's energy. I'm
Mm.
able to read their energy and understand their energy and feel where they're really at. And so I have an uncanny ability of understanding the pain that they're dealing with. And here's the best part. As you can see from my book, well, you can see from my book if you looked at it, is that is all about every experience I've went through. I was a multi-sport athlete. I was multiple jobs. I did incredibly high level stuff and what I did is every foible, every injury, I had a heart attack, I've had cancer, I've had all kinds of things.
Wow.
Every one of those things allows me to connect with somebody. So for instance, if it's a music person, is I've had bloody fingers from playing the guitar. I've done the drums. And then if it's sports, of course, that's easy for me. And,
Mm.
but more importantly is I'm able to find their pain point. And if I can find their pain point, I can relieve that pain point. And
Mm.
now you don't see barriers. So I'll ask you a really good question. This is a secret I'll let out. Give everybody a tip. When you see that life is happening to you, you are only able to see obstacles and challenges. You cannot even see how to get out of your own way.
Yeah,
When you believe and understand that life is happening for you, everything looks like opportunities and possibilities.
I love that. I love that so much. You can get as woo as you want. I love this stuff. I'm a big fan. And I think what you're referring to, or at least my understanding of it, is your reticular activation system, which basically
Bingo.
dictates how we view the world and the perspective that we hold. So if I'm thinking that life is happening to me, my RAS is going to be tuned to noticing things that are quote unquote obstacles, challenges, whatever. But if I attune it to life is happening for me, I'm still living the same life, but I'm noticing and picking up on different things. And I love that. I personally love that.
Yeah.
I think that's so key. I'm curious, when you think of your vision and where you ultimately want to take this new training program, are there any goals that you have, let's say, for over the next 12 months? Any specific targets that you're aiming towards, revenue or otherwise, anything like that?
Thank you for asking that because I have a unique perspective. Revenue is going to happen because I'm going to do what I love and what I am intentional about. And the money will come. I have no zero doubt about that. So what I'm doing is my intentionality is I want to positively impact 5 million people over the next 5 years. And I want to do that through a sales organization for 2 reasons. One is, I'm going to blow your mind with this one, but one is every one of those people becomes a catalyst to integrate other people that then have a life is happening for me perspective.
Yeah.
See, when you're a salesperson and you believe that life is happening for you, then all your ways to close the business. Or, and here's the best part, there is no such thing as no, there's not yet.
Yeah.
And as soon as you realize that you take not yet, you now what I do is I remove the outcome and I remove time. And I let them know that time is malleable. And it's a lot of fun exercise. But now the second part though is I'm in a position where I learned this at the company I'm at. How is most insurance sold? Through fear.
Yeah. What happens if you die and then your family, blah, 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 blah.
Bingo. So now I've added fear to one of the fear of the product to one of the over things I have to overcome as a salesperson. But more deeply, is, do I want to use fear to sell fear? And I did not want to do that, which is why I've never really made a lot of money doing the life insurance for the last 6 months, because I've been focused on this, doing it in a new way.
Yeah, I
And
like
I
that.
call it, by the way, you're going to love this. It's called Leading with Love.
That's what it is. And I'm sure you're familiar with the map of consciousness,
Oh, yeah.
Dr.
I
David.
want to raise, if I may, and then I want you to expand on that. I have a goal there. You asked me the question. I have a goal that I will go public on, which says that I want to raise the consciousness level of the United States 5 points before I leave this earth.
I love that. I love that. Think about how different our world would be if
Exactly.
people can shift paradigms and move up the ladder. I think about that so often. That's why I have on my whiteboard and I read it every single day throughout the day. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. And
Bingo.
for me, that's a reminder to just always be grateful. And then when I think about that, I'm like, wow, I'm grateful for this bubbly. I'm grateful for this coffee. I'm grateful for this conversation with Todd. I love that so much. What is the best way for people to reach out to you to work with you?
So the best way would be to set up a clarity call or to send me an email. The I can probably include that, but it's Coach Todd Kimble at gmail.com, Kimble. They can also go to my website, coach-todd.com, and there's a connect. You can connect with me, set up a meeting with me. I will tell you this is anybody who meets with me is going to know in the first 10 minutes if they want to work with me or if I want to work with them.
I love that. I love that. Todd, any final words before we wrap up?
Yeah, I'm going to say something more bold again, which is that I've lived my life very purposely so that I can do what I'm doing right now. And I feel like this is what I'm meant to do in my 60s and 70s and beyond, who knows?
Yeah,
And all I'm asking for people to do is to talk to me.
yeah, that's it. Just hop on a call.
Just hop on a call.
Thank you so much for your time.
All right, thank you.
Anytime. So that wraps up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to go to coach-todd.com. That's Todd with two D's, coach-todd.com. You can also email him Coach Todd Kimble, Kimble at gmail.com. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or an agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with our team and discover how we went from zero to $30 million in less than 3 years. Until then, keep on climbing.